Hello and welcome to our 12 Days of Christmas Craft Along. I had completely lost track of time today, so instead of going on at 5 like I was supposed to, that's why I'm on it now. Tomorrow I will be at 5 o'clock. It will be a video, so it will be right there on time. And I am just getting my feed going. I'm kind of not camera ready. I've been cleaning up after yesterday and just kind of just taking it easy and relaxing today. And just like I said, lost track of time and just waiting for people to hop on here. So we've got our 12 Days of Christmas. I do have the host code. So here's our host code for the 12 Days of Christmas. This link is in the video description. So you can get over to my online store, and if you would like the 12 Days of Christmas tutorial, so that is a color PDF tutorial. And I'll show you an example of it. It's got all the instructions down. It's got all the supplies, the measurements, and the directions to make your project kits. And if you ordered our craft along, thank you so much again for ordering that. And we're going to pull out a piece of our reindeer fun paper, our reindeer days, and our class 5 envelope here, a little class 5 packet, and that will just open it up. I did one score, I think, for you so it would all fit in your package. So let me move this while I pull out the package here, because we need all of our bits and pieces. And I'll go through all the things that you should have here. All right, we're going to move this off to the side. I will bring that code back in towards the end so you can catch it again in case you missed it. So we have a narrow piece of our garden Granny Apple Green here. I just need to get my sheet because I measured everything and cut it already out. So now I just have to get my instructions here so you know what it was. I can lift it up. All right. So that way I can reference it as we go. So our first piece is 10 1/8 by 6, and then we have another piece that's 3 3/4 by 11. I did do one of the score lines on there for you already. This is going to make the pocket on the inside of our card folio. This is for the card folio. Then you have a piece of garden green. You have a piece of pecan pie. We're going to be using this to stamp out our deer. You have a strip of basic white, and then I'm going to turn another light here. I got another shadow again today. All right, and hopefully the there we go. Light is not as bright. And then we have another piece of Granny Apple Green. So you've got quite a few pieces. This is basic beige, and this is already been die cut for you. It was die cut from the Greetings of the Season dies that come with this sentiment set. And these dies are all tags, so they're really a lot of fun to work with. If you don't already have this, you may want to put this on your wish list, because this is really a great set of dies to have. You can use it for so much, and you don't even have to use it for tags, so you can use it for other things. I'm just picking up some of the other things I was stamping with the other day and I hadn't put away. Shame on me, right? All right, so we're going to do Christmas Bear Together. I need that one, and we'll put away our Merry Christmas here. What happens if you don't put them away? They get a little dusty, you know, from whatever dust is flying around your house. And so sometimes you just have to clean them a little bit more. I just kind of take some warm water and rinse it off. All right, so the only die that we're going to be using in today's card here is going to be this one, because we will be stamping that. Let's go ahead and start with creating our folder here. So I'm going to move some of these pieces off to my side. All right, so we've got our 10 1/8 by 6. So we're going to score at 4.5, and then at 5 5/8. So it gives me our little kind of we're going to make it like a little book here, okay? That's what we're doing. So now the next thing we need to do is create our inner pocket, and we're going to start using our 3 3/4 by 11. We're going to score it at 2 1/4, which I've already done here. So we'll just go right to 2 1/4, score that, 2 1/4, score that. Then we're going to go to 3 1/4 and score that. Now we're going to move to 7 3/4. So I'm going to extend my little trimmer arm here and slide this down. We'll move that out of the way. So that is 7 3/4. And then we're going to slide it over to 8 3/4. All right. Now, the next piece we want to do is turn it on our 3 3/4 inch side, and we're going to score it at 1 inch. All right. So there we go. Oh, I dropped something. All right. So now, I'm just going to burnish all these lines here. I would use my bone folder, but I just don't have it right next to me. All right. Go ahead and do these. And now we're going to take our snips here, and we are just going to trim up to that 1 inch line. Okay, this is going to form our little pocket there. All right, now you can miter these edges here just so they fold in a little bit better. So they're tucked away, no one's going to see those, but it just makes the box go together a little bit easier if we have that snipped away. All right. Okay. We're going to grab our trusty tear and tape again. You need strong adhesive, and we're just going to roll this up here, just like that. Okay, and this bottom flap is going to be the bottom of your box, so you just want everything kind of just measured in nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put tear and tape on these two pieces here. Because that's going to roll into my box, so I just need some right there. So I'm going to put it right here. Some right here. Right. We'll peel that off. This is one of my favorite things to make during the holidays. I like to give gifts of cards, so this makes it very handy. These are also great things to make if you do craft fairs. Don't want to get that stuck there. All right. So now when I fold this up, I just want to match this up here. All right. Same thing on this side. I'm going to just fold it in and match it up. Give it a press. Now what I can do is, it didn't stick the first time, and now it's not wanting to stick. I'm going to take my block and put it on the inside here. So just got to get that to stay flat. I'm just going to take my block, and I'm just going to press it down. Okay. That way I know that this is going to stay together. And I might need, I'm going to put another piece of adhesive here because it just doesn't feel like it's sticking really well. We'll just use our liquid glue. And I'm just going to glue along here. If I can get the glue to come out. I might have to take my handy dandy little safety pin. Get that kind of cleaned out a little bit. There we go. Now it's coming out a little better. All right. All right, so now it's probably going to smoosh out. Yeah, it's smooshing out a little bit. All right. So I'm just going to put that aside to dry really quick. I'm not really too worried about the glue being on the back. Oh. Okay, having sticky finger issues. I'm just going to put this off to the side for the moment. I got this really all full of glue. I might just grab another piece so we can do this a little faster. That's going to take a while to dry, and we'll just grab another piece so I can continue working. So we'll just recut that piece. All right, so that was Granny Apple Green. Good thing I have another piece here. Yeah, just need some stuff to get the sticky off my hand. All right. Well, you know, lives are always an adventure. Let's try it again. All right. So let me measure this again. So it has to be 10 1/8 by 6 inches. Kind of bend that. I can't believe my fingers are still sticky, and I cleaned them really well. All right, so 6 inches, 10 1/8. We'll move out my arm here. I'm just going to hurry through my scoring so we can go in here. All right. Oh, it wasn't this piece that I needed. Oh, I'm adorable. Okay. That's all right, because I've got more cardstock. And I'll just make a second box later. Okay, so 3 3/4. Cooper nut, no. All right, I'll put that over there for later. So this has to be measured at 2 1/4. Oh my God, glue everywhere. 2 1/4. Make sure I got my scoring blade. 3 1/4. 7 3/4. And 8 3/4. Hey, if you're crafting along with me, I'm giving you more than enough time now to catch back up, right? All right, so go ahead and finish on those lines, or if you're jumping in a little late. Hello, Beth. How are you today? I'm gonna go here. All right. And for the first time in I don't know how long, I did not go Black Friday shopping. I was just so tired from yesterday, from not sleeping and getting up super early and doing all the cooking, that I actually did nothing today. I did 2 loads of laundry, and that was about it. Which, you know, I still need to cut for a couple classes and just kind of go back around dusting and vacuum really quick before I have people over tomorrow. Because those little critters of mine tend to get my house full of stuff. And since yesterday they were just so fussy whether they wanted to eat or not, I found ham all over my floor. I'm like, what happened here? So we had ham for dinner, and sometimes they decide to eat ham, and sometimes, I guess apparently, they were trying to feed my dog. So we always tell them, Casey, it's Casey food, not Cooper food. Cooper is my dog. So we always have to remind her it's not Cooper food. It always reminds me of watching Nemo, and where they say, fish are our friends, not our food. That's what it always reminds me of. Okay, and I'm just going to put another strip of tear and tape right down here along the bottom instead of using that liquid glue, because it's going to be much faster. So this time I put a little bit more adhesive so it would stay. And now I'm kind of flustered, so things aren't going to work quite right. It happens. Normally, I'm usually okay, but yeah, I'm a little flustered tonight. I decided to have a cup of coffee a little while ago, and that probably wasn't a good idea, because I'll be up all night again. When my husband goes hunting, I tend not to sleep very well. I don't know about if any of you are wives of deer hunters or family members that deer hunt, I don't sleep when they're gone. All right. So now this time I'm going to be smart. I'm going to put my block in here, and I'm going to roll this through. Line up my one side here really quick. Because I do want my box to be lined up well. Otherwise it won't fit inside my card folio really well. All right. So lining up all my edges. Now I already have my block in there, and I can just squish and smooth my block. All right, there we go. Okay. I may have been a little off screen when I was putting that adhesive on. I apologize. All right, so now we're going to need a little bit more adhesive to put on the back of our card box or folder there so it stays in place. Now, I do tend to like to use my liquid glue when I do this part. So it is going to take a little bit to dry. But I do that because I feel like I get a much better seal. Well, not seal, but it just holds better. So I'm putting my liquid glue all on the back of the box. We're bringing this. And I'm going to set this down. So I'm matching my score line in the bottom of my card there. And I can fold that in, make sure it's all sitting nice. All right. Come back with my hand here and just press on that liquid glue. All right. Now I'm going to put some also right here on the side because I want this to stay, I want this part to stay closed. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue there. All right. So go ahead and just roll that up, line it up with the bottom of my box. There we go. Just get it all lined up. And I'm going to throw a block in there for right now, just to hold it in place while I start creating the front of my box. All right. So that's just sitting there, just like this, over on the side, just so it doesn't, hey, stop, please stop. Whatever you're chewing on, please stop. Okay, now, oh, I know what I had this piece for. I remember now. It's for our trees that we'll be stamping. So let's go ahead and do some of our stamping first. Stop. Whatever you're chewing on, stop it. I'm sorry, my dog is chewing on something and I need to get. What are you chewing on? Go find a toy. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay, I do need my garden green ink, which I had out yesterday. I'll need my black Memento. And I'm also pulling in my white, my Whisper White craft ink. Now, if you don't have the ink refill, you can definitely use your stamp pad. I just find it easier to use my refill. Okay, and then we'll need a water painter. Let's start with doing our... Might as well do our, we'll do our trees first. Okay, so there's our trees. We'll grab our garden green. Now you could definitely use Granny Apple Green. I'm going to show you what both look like, and you can choose whichever you prefer. So I do have both listed there, so you've got more than enough here to play with. So here's our Granny Apple, or this is our garden green. And now let's get this cleaned off. And this time we'll use our Granny Apple Green. And when that lightens up, you'll see it. There's not a whole lot of difference, so it doesn't matter really which one you decide to use. You can use both, doesn't matter. I'm just going to put those away because it will be done with our stamping for those. All right. I'm going to bring in my stamp with my deer on it. Oh, got a little bit of ink on there. Hold on. There we go. Okay. We're going to pull in our pecan pie. We're going to ink up our deer. And notice, we're not going to be coloring with any blends today. Well, I love blends. Sometimes if you just stamp on colored cardstock, you don't even need a blend. All right. So there we go. Your piece of pecan pie might have been smaller. I just grabbed the piece that my leftover piece, and I just threw it in the bag. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start with my ink refill. So I'm going to shake that up really well. And I'm just going to put just a drop or two on my block. I'm going to take my water painter and just get a little bit of water there and just kind of mix it up. Okay, so we're going to do a little painting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple dots on Mama's back here. And then I'll put a couple dots on baby back. And then we'll do his little tail. And I'm just gently dabbing some on. So if you have a lot of ink on your brush, it will kind of go all over the place. Then we'll get his little ear. And then his little underbelly here. We'll do all this in white. So this just takes a little bit of patience here when you're doing this. And you may have to come back in and add a little bit more as it dries. All right. Then we'll finish with Mom here. Oh, we gotta get his little face here. Yeah, and I'm having to concentrate, so I'm being real quiet. Got your new glasses. I really need to get in and get new glasses. Mine are so scratched up, it's hard to see out of them. All right, so there's Mama. We'll get Mama's ear. Cooper, take that bone somewhere else. Oh, he's terrible. He's got this nervous habit of chewing his bone or his nails when I'm on my live. At least he's not ripping up stuff like he used to, although he still does it on occasion. I usually always go out and get him new toys on Black Friday. Again, I just didn't feel the need to shop today. You know, I usually go with a friend of mine, and we just didn't coordinate today. All right. Kind of missed that because it's kind of an annual thing that we do. But so Cheryl, sorry I missed out on you today. All right, there we go. So again, you can leave the white off the back. You can add a little more. Again, just be very careful that you don't press too hard. Like I got a couple bigger spots than I actually wanted, but that'll work. Okay, then to clean this off, all you do is just squish so the water comes out, and then that will clear the ink out from there. I'm just going to go ahead and grab a tissue. I usually have a towel here to do this with, and I didn't bring my towel into the room. It was pretty inky. I had to clean it. All right. All right, we'll just take a little bit of water now and just put it on my block. Clean my block off. Clean my mess up here. And I'll take that to the sink later. Okay. That's done. All right. I'm just going to wave this around a little bit till it dries. Actually, what I'll do is I'll start die cutting my other things. So we'll bring in our little mini mate here. Okay. So now that this is dried, you can kind of see there's just a slight difference between the garden green and the granny apple green. Choose whichever you want. And we're going to grab our little tree die out. Doot, doot, doot. By the time we get through all 12 projects, we'll have used all of our dies and all of our stamps. I'm pretty sure we use everything. All right. I like to stamp extra trees just for the fact that sometimes I may goof up. So, die cut that one. And sometimes it's not when I'm stamping that I goof up, it's when I'm die cutting. Like if I don't have the right light, I don't always get my dies lined up even. I don't know how people make it through third shift. I really don't. There's twice a year that I have to do, I have to support an overnight live, go live for software, and I tell you what, my sound asleep time is usually between 4:30 and 6. So when I have to work the overnights, it's a struggle because starting at about 2:30, I realize, oh, I'm really tired. And now that my office is downstairs, if anyone is staying over, it's, you know, an inconvenience because I end up waking them up because I've got the lights on and I'm talking on the phone, and you know, and during the slow times when we're doing the upgrade, we'll joke around about things, and I'm like, then we'll start laughing really loud, and yeah, I mean, we got to do something to keep ourselves awake. When we did it in person, it was always fun because one of the people that ran it would always bring us in treats. So then over the years, we'd all start bringing in different treats, planning on, you know, what we're going to have for food. Because, you know, you always need food, right? All right, I'm just going to cut this down a little bit so I can trim this out using my mini but mighty machine. My Mighty Mouse machine. Oh, does anyone out there remember Mighty Mouse? It wasn't like my favorite cartoon, but it was one that we watched. I mean, when you only had like 6 channels to watch, you watched whatever cartoon came on. And nowadays, a lot of the cartoons that we used to watch would probably be considered, I don't know, politically incorrect. But, you know, it was all in fun. It wasn't judgment of anyone. Sometimes I think people take things too literally. Okay, so now we've got our die cut pieces. Where did I put that tree? Did I put it away already? I hope. No, it's right here. I'm going to put it away before I lose it. 2. Do you notice my house is very quiet tonight? Okay, so now we've got this. So now I'm going to take my piece of Designer Series paper, and I need to cut that down to be 2.5 inches by 4 inches, and then 4 inches by 5.5. So I know that this has to be, I'm going to go ahead and cut this down right away to 4 inches wide. Now I need this piece to be 5.5. And, you know, decide what end you want to cut from. Your tag is going to cover part of it, but you decide. So let me bring that tag in so you can see. What did I do with the tag? Here it is. So your tag is going to be kind of over everything. I hope I got that right, yeah. Your tag is going to be kind of over everything, so decide where you want to have whatever showing. Right, so if I cover it here, not a whole lot shows. So just decide where you want your 5.5 to be. So I'm going to cut it right here. It's 5.5. And now I need a piece that's going to be 2.5. So again, just look at your paper, see where it's going to cut. Maybe you want to cut your little deer off. Maybe you want to cut it up above that. All right, so if I do it right here, I just got to decide what deer I want to have showing. Well, that one doesn't show any deer. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just turn it this way. So 2.5. And I'll just cut off those other deer. Oh well. At least I got the cute ones. Okay, so now I'm going to layer this right onto my garden green. So let me get my seal out here. I don't want my super seal. I just want my seal. Okay. Oh, and this one, I bet this was going to run out before I'm done. Don't I have another one out here? Nope, I don't. All right. All right. There we go. And our box is probably pretty much dry now. So before I do anything else, I'm going to take my ribbon and we're going to wrap this around the box. I'll make a nice bow. Now I tend to make my bow a little bit larger because after a while, people tying and untying this, your ribbon will probably fray a little bit. So my bow is actually going to be on my side, but for right now, I'm tying it right here just because it makes it easier for me. Okay. You can slide that around after you tie it. And I didn't measure how long my ribbon is, so if you want to measure it ahead of time, you can. All right, and we'll snip that off. All right, and now I'm just going to position it where I want. So I'm just going to slowly kind of just pull it along here. Just gonna do. I just want to get it off to the side a little bit. That's fine. All right, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this right to the front of the card base, and I'm going to do that with my dimensionals. So let's go ahead here, and I've got some of my scraps left from the other day. So we're just going to use a bunch of these up. You can use foam adhesive sheets, the foam adhesive strips if you have it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There we go. All right. Now, I am going to upload all of these tonight because I realized my uploads didn't save. I thought I had loaded them to YouTube and I thought it all saved. And when I went out to go and look at it today, it had not. So I was kind of shocked by that. So I'll have to go make sure I get them up there. And now I just want to grab a scrap here. And I lied about using blends. I do need a blend. I forgot that I colored some ribbon in. I colored my ribbon with Granny Apple Green. I just used my blend to do that. I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to tie it in white. But you can either color your ribbon with Granny Apple Green and then tie your bow, or just leave it white. Totally up to you. I'm just going to leave it white. So let's just tie a ribbon. I don't need this then. So we'll just grab a chunk of ribbon, make a little bow, here we go, turn that down, okay, we can make that bow a little smaller. There we go. All right, we're going to just use a glue dot and attach it right to our tag. So I'm just going to take my bow right to my glue dot. Give it a nice press there and pop it right on my tag. My goal is to cover that hole like that. Now, it's going to be a little sticky on the other side, so just when you go to put your tag down, just remember that it's sticky. Now, you can put it straight, you can put it at an angle. Totally up to you what you'd like to do. I'm going to go ahead and put it at a little bit of angle. I'm going to be putting my trees here, just like that and that. I'll be layering this on here. I'm going to have my deer straight, though. And the other thing I need to do is I need to take a strip of white, and I am going to stamp my Christmas is Better Together. I need to stamp that twice. So 1, 2. All right, and now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to trim this down. All right, so I want my Christmas like that. And now we'll trim this one down. And then we're going to go is better together. You could use your trimmer if you like, if it makes it easier for you to cut. I'm just going with, it's handmade. It may not be perfect. All right, so then we've got our Christmas is Better Together. So then we'll be putting our little tags on there like that. So decide where you want your tag, put your tag down, and then just start embellishing everything. So let's just get this down. I'm going to actually put my block back inside this. There we go. Just so I have a little bit of stuff back there. All right, tag. This is what we're doing, tag. Oh, here's my trees. Okay. I'm going to put it that way. All right. Now my trees I'm just going to put down flat. I'm going to straighten my deer on here. My deer are going to be popped up with dimensionals. All right. Sorry, I was just looking at my sample. I'm like, why does my... I was thinking that, why do these colors look different? It's just because there's not a lot of light over there. Okay. So let's get our... Now I may need to come back in with either some smaller dimensionals or strips just to get my deer supported here. I got a piece right here that I want to put down. And we'll just put it in the back. Right there. I'm having a really hard time tearing off my backings today. Probably should just grab my take a pick tool. Sorry if I'm mumbling. I just realized I was probably mumbling this whole time. Okay. So we're just going to put that right on front. Let's go ahead and adhere these down so I know where I'm going to put them. Okay. Now, that one's going to be the one in back because I keep bending that little tree stem. All right. So put this a little higher. Now, I'm just trying to make that straight. Since my tag is kind of crooked, I want to make that straight. Put this one down. And as you can see, my deer is trying to stick to my hand. All right. So I turn this. I'm going to just put this high enough so that I'm covering kind of the base of those trees there. I didn't want it straight. Well, all right. It is what it is now. All right, I'm going to take this. I'm going to pop this up in some dimensionals. So I am going to grab my minis. since I'm having lifting issues of my backing, so I'll use my Take a Pick tool. And I'll put Christmas right across the front here. All right, now let's just put a little bit of liquid glue on the back of my tag. And I'm just going to try this way just slightly. It's going to be at the slightest little angle. All right, and now our Better Together here, we'll grab some dimensionals. All right, and we'll put that as Better Together right at the bottom. All right, so now we've got our card folio made. Now we just need to grab our cards in from last night, which they have right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just need 4 of them. And I can slide them in just like this, so I don't even have to untie my bow. And then I want to put some envelopes in there too. And there we go. So that is our project, our day 5 project, our Christmas card folio. I hope you enjoyed that. And we will see you all again tomorrow for another video in our 12 Days of Christmas Craft Along. Take care. Have a great evening. Bye.